Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, it's that time of year, spring, and that means babies. But these little ones are in need of help. Lucky for them that they were sent here to Wildlife Incorporated. How this organization is making a difference. And
coming up next, I'm with my favorite animals in the world. Let's see if they'll let me play with them.
What you need to know before you take on these little guys as a pet. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. Holmes Beach is a popular tourist town in Manatee County, Florida. You'll find hotels and restaurants and beautiful beaches. And off the main road, you'll find a street lined with your typical beach cottages, so you think. Smack in the middle is a home that is not so typical.
We volunteered for another group at one time. Then in January of 1987, we decided to get our own license, and so we were licensed by the state of Florida to rehabilitate mammals, and then the federal government to rehabilitate birds. So we were off to the races with a new little hobby that now turned into almost 3,000 calls a year. That's just about 33 years. We hit that in January, and time flies. It wasn't always as busy as it is now. You know, we hadn't taken over this garage back here. We had a little flight, and we had a little raccoon here and a little squirrel there. And then over the years, many of the other rehabbers just started dropping by the wayside. This is not exactly a profession, you know. We put our own money into it to start with, and then now we have ways that we raise money. But we get no money from any government agency. We have to raise our own money. We're licensed by them, and we have to follow their rules. But we do a number of ways. Donations is one of the main ways that we survive. So we're always open for donations, and we're a nonprofit 501c3. We really never pictured this turning into such a big operation that it is. Our goal is twofold. One is to rehabilitate wildlife, and the other is to educate the public. The biggest challenge, of course, is taking in injured and orphaned wildlife, which is probably more so than the injured, especially this time of the year. As I say, we get baby everythings, and lots of them, because somehow they get displaced in this population that we have now. Last year we had 10 little fawns. None of them were over a week old when they came in. They all got released back in the wild. Last spring we had over 100 baby possums, and quite often the mother gets hit by cars. Right now you can hear chirping those 2 baby otters, and we don't know what happened to their mother. We just know that they were found in the cold weather, and she probably got run over by a car or something. We're starting to get in the baby birds of prey right now. We have those 3 baby barn owls. We had our first baby screech owl, and the last few years we've gotten in between 30 to 50 baby screech owls each spring. So that's one of, we know, many baby screech owls. And it is a mystery, because people just find those little guys, their little powder puff, on the ground, and there's no sign of their mother, and they can't be left there. So we get quite a few baby birds of prey each year. 3 little great horned owls. When they came in, they were just little cotton puffs about this big. They grow very fast. In fact, most birds of prey grow faster than most people realize, and their survival depends on them growing really fast. These guys, like all other birds of prey, you don't feed them things like hamburger. They get the actual things they'd be eating as adults cut up into little pieces, like chicken and rats. And these guys will be moved out to a bigger flight quite soon. The weather, as long as it's warm and all, because you can see they still have a lot of down on them there. They will be moved to one of the bigger flights outside, maybe within the next week or two, and they're going to start flying then. We will still have them, though, for several months before they are big enough to go on their own in the wild. Now, owls, they don't really learn much from their parents anyway. They're pretty much wired to do the things they know how to do, which of course is they have an extremely good hearing. Their ears are actually on the side of their head next to their eye, like right there, right here. So they can hear, and they're offset so they can hear depth. They can actually hunt just by hearing. They can fly silently, and they can see in the dark. Now their eyes are not like ours. They're not round on the back, they're flat, and they take up, unfortunately, most of the space in their head. So there's not a whole lot of brains up there, but nevertheless, they're very smart to do what they're wired to do, and that's catch prey at night. And they're very good for our environment. They definitely take care of lots of rodents. Our goal for them is to get them all adult, healthy enough to be released back in the wild, and they will be released back in the wild. The development in the eastern part of the county affects things like why we get so many fawns each spring. 2 years ago we had 5, last year 10. We're hoping not to see 15 this year. You know, I never liked playing shuffleboard anyway, nor am I the type that's going to just lay on the beach and watch the sun. You know, I think that for one thing, we just stayed active. We found something that we found rewarding. You know, I did things much more dramatic in my life that were rewarding, and this is rewarding. And somebody actually, as of yesterday, said, well, all the things you've been doing in your life, isn't this kind of boring? And I said, not really. It's really pretty enjoyable because it is very satisfactory. There are the days when you get your heart broken, but that's true with anything, even with people. We just have to do our best and then accept whatever happens. You have to do that, or otherwise you couldn't be doing this, because everything is not going to make it. All we can do is our very best, and we have to accept whatever happens. I say we're an equal opportunity rehab, because people will call and say, do you all take baby squirrels? You know, they're thinking maybe we'll say no. We take everything equally. We go the extra mile to save things if we can, and that's our job, to make things as comfortable as possible while they're still alive on this earth.
From snakes to birds, turtles, and squirrels, it doesn't matter the kind of animal. The Straits and volunteers at Wildlife Incorporated are willing to help and give all animals a chance. For more information on Wildlife Incorporated, log on to their website.
They're so cute and cuddly. Oh my gosh, I just want to play with one. They ought to let me in there, right?
Over 90% of the seafood that is coming in to this country is raised in areas of the world that don't have the highest standards. And so our approaches are aimed for two things. One is to help feed the world. The second is to do it in an environmentally friendly and sustainable way.
Every dog deserves a lifelong, loving home. Dante's Den provides a pristine, comfortable haven for dogs that have been abandoned or surrendered by their owners. We ensure every pup in our Joyful Dogs adoption program receives lots of love and attention, is properly immunized, spayed or neutered, and is in good health. Prospective pet parents undergo a thorough adoption review to ensure a lifetime of love and care. Find your new furry best friend at Dante's Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call us at 941-219-3730. Dante's Den, continuing the love.
My name is Dr. Tracy Fanara, research scientist and environmental engineer. At Mote Marine Laboratory, I use investigation and experimentation to answer questions. Oh my gosh, these guys are utterly adorable. This was the first exhibit that I ever designed, and I am so happy to say that because these guys are my favorite animal at the aquarium. Don't tell the other ones. I just want to cuddle them. Look how furry they are, and they're great swimmers. They just look like they're so playful, just like dogs. Let's see if we can get in there and find out if these guys are as cute and cuddly as they appear.
Hi guys, good morning. We're so hungry this morning.
Oh my gosh, how do you get them to like you so much?
Hi, good morning. So they definitely recognize my voice for sure. I've been working with them for a long time, yes.
You are so lucky. You have the best job in the world. You get to work with these adorable otters.
They are pretty cute.
So what are you doing with them right now?
So I'm about to start a target training session.
Okay.
So target training is really important for all of our animals. It helps them bring them over to me and they're going to be focused on me. And it also helps us separate them for feeding and reinforce cooperative eating as well. So it's a very, very important part of their training.
Look at them. So they're super smart. You're able to train them.
Absolutely. And what's really great about river otters is they're very food motivated. So they want to participate in training. They also love to learn new behaviors, which is really, really awesome to have with animals. So they each have their own target that they know to go to.
You're kidding me.
So
like
Huck,
separately?
Absolutely. So they're kind of like an assigned seat. So Huck has this black one, Pippi has the white one, and then Jane has the orange one. So you'll see they know these pretty well and they're going to separate very quickly. This
is crazy. Oh my God.
So the type of training that we do here at Mote is positive reinforcement training. So we basically reward behaviors we ask for and we just ignore any unwanted behaviors. Good, and all of our sessions are completely voluntary. We never force our animals to do anything that they don't want to do. So you see, once the otters are nice and calm on their station, I let them know that they did a good job. Good, Huck. And then I'm going to provide them with their reinforcement, which for this session is going to be food. Come on, girly.
Wow. They have some serious teeth.
Absolutely. So these guys are carnivores, so they are adapted to eating various different carnivorous items. So if you see them eating those fish, see that they quite easily chew those up with those very sharp teeth.
Wow.
And Huck can actually show us his sharp teeth as well. Open. Good.
Oh my gosh.
So these guys are trained to have their teeth brushed. It's a part of their daily care. We also always want to make sure that their teeth look good and are in nice condition.
That is amazing. So why do they have the really long whiskers like they do?
So that's a good question. So these guys, they're going to use their whiskers to navigate through the water and to find their prey. Their eyesight isn't actually really great. They are nearsighted. So using those whiskers or vibrissae are really great to help them find prey in murkier waters.
How do these guys stay warm when it's so cold?
So that's a really great question. So these guys are adapted to a lot of different temperatures. River otters are found all throughout the US and Canada. And what they do is they actually have an air layer trapped. So they'll use that soft downy coat and then they have an air layer and then they have their guard hairs as well to help keep them warm. So you could see when they're swimming that those bubbles coming off of their fur.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Look at the bubbles. So they act kind of like a turvis.
Yes,
those
definitely.
cups that keep the air in between the two layers to keep your drink cold or warm. I don't mean to be mean or something, but it smells really, really bad around here. Is it the alligators? I mean, I know they could get algae on them, but I've dealt with a lot of gators and they've never really smelled bad.
No, so it's definitely these guys. So the family that they're known for, the family Mustelidae, are musky animals. So they do have scent glands at the base of their tail and on their back feet, and this is how they communicate with each other. So they're gonna rub that musky scent all over this exhibit, and again, that's how they let each other know, hey, this is where I've been, this is what I'm doing. So they are a very scent-oriented animal.
So the question is, they look so cute and cuddly. Can I get in there and actually hug them? Like, are they cuddly animals?
So they are still wild animals, even though they do look cute and cuddly. So we always want to make sure that we're keeping our distance with these guys. They are very curious and they can play very rough with each other, but their skin is a heck of a lot thicker than ours is, so we always want to make sure that we're keeping our distance.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So they're used to playing so rough that our skin wouldn't be able to handle the rough play.
Exactly, yes.
That makes a lot of sense. I still want to take my chances. What big teeth you have! What sharp claws you have! What a long, strong tail you have! You guys are super cute, but I think our distance is good. Remember guys, anyone can be a scientist or an engineer with some passion, hard work, and innate curiosity of how the world works.
Coming up next on Animal Outtakes, hop on board as we're exploring an extremely unique ecosystem and discovering the animals that live there. Estuaries play an important role in the health of our environment overall, and there are a lot of animals that are essential to the well-being of this unique and often overlooked ecosystem.
As a biologist for Sarasota Bay Explorers, our job is to narrate the experience and make it fun for people so that they can learn and they're interested in learning the health of the bay and the animals in it. And the goal for us is to make it meaningful enough to them to where they're inspired to take more action in helping their environment, helping our environment. We really try to bring people to a different level of consciousness so that we're making a difference in the world. 1, 2, 3. We actually threw a trawl net out into the water and we caught some animals. We are permitted to do this, so we have permission to use this type of net and to collect these animals. I see some fish. We do release them at the end of the day. All right, everybody, we just got back from our sea life encounter cruise and we have a female lined seahorse right here in this container. What you may or may not know about the seahorse is that it's the male that actually gives birth to the young. Not a lot of animals in the animal kingdom do that, but with seahorses and pipefish, that's the case. Now, this particular seahorse has a courtship dance that it will do with its mate, and they do mate for life. And when they're in this courtship dance, they twirl in the water, they head up to the surface of the water, and right before they split at the surface, the female will shoot the eggs almost like a water gun into the pouch of the male, and that's where they become incubated and fertilized. He holds on to those eggs for 3 or 4 weeks as they develop, and then they hatch. Usually they have hundreds of seahorses at a time, and they are tiny, 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 so small. Some of these seahorses have courtship rituals as long as 12 hours. That's how long they dance for. But with the lined seahorses, it only takes about 15 minutes. Most of the time, seahorses are going to be found in the seagrass beds. They are actually one of the slowest moving fish in the ocean. And in their lifetime, which is usually 3 to 4 years, they will only cover the length of a football field. So they don't move around a whole lot. Most of the time, they have these tails that they'll use to grab onto seagrass. They're called prehensile tails, just like the trunk of an elephant is prehensile. It can grab onto, or tails of a monkey can grab onto branches. This prehensile tail will grab onto the seagrass, and then the seahorse, which just kind of turns its neck back and forth to grab prey, doesn't have to move very far to eat. So they just don't go very many places in their lifetime unless they get on the boat with us, and then they get to find a new home. Along with all the animals and plants that you might find in your backyard, you might also find trash. Trash, like plastics, are often found where wildlife live, and they can mistake it for the things that they normally eat. So Take 3 for the Sea is a worldwide hashtag going around so that we can help save these animals and prevent them from eating it on accident. Take 3 for the Sea means picking up 3 pieces of trash on a daily basis, and working as a team, we can help clean up our environment and prevent these animals from getting hurt because of our mistakes with our trash. That's Take 3 for the Sea. Take 3 for the Sea. Take 3 for the Sea.
Stay with us, there's more Animal Outtakes coming up next. Every dog deserves a lifelong, loving home. Dante's Den provides a pristine, comfortable haven for dogs that have been abandoned or surrendered by their owners. We ensure every pup in our Joyful Dogs adoption program receives lots of love and attention, is properly immunized, spayed or neutered, and is in good health. Prospective pet parents undergo a thorough adoption review to ensure a lifetime of love and care. Find your new furry best friend at Dante's Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call us at 941-219-3730. Dante's Den, continuing the love. Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org.
He might look small now, but he will outlive you and outgrow you. This is a leopard tortoise.
Come say hi.
So these are kind of like the big tortoises that you see at the zoos and everything. They'll get that big. But this is how they start. They can live 100 to 150 years. These guys, you want to keep more of kind of like a desert type setting with low humidity. He's got a little bit of moisture in there, but not too much. And then same with the spur thighs. With the redfoot tortoises, they get more humidity, so you'll mist them down or give them more water. And then they do eat just greens and their fruits. They're really cool pets, but you have to understand that they do live 100 to 150 years. And they do get very big and they can be very destructive. As far as when they want those veggies, they're gonna start destroying anything to get to them.
The red marking along the side of the red-eared slider's head makes this turtle pretty easy to identify. The slider is also one of the most popular turtles in the pet trade, but also one of the most invasive turtle species. Natively found in the lower United States, red-eared sliders can now be found in colonies throughout the U.S. Pet releases and escapes are thought to have contributed to this.
When you're looking to buy a pet, you want to do tons of research, especially on the reptiles. Each reptile is very different, very unique. They each require different care, they each require different environment.
We hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. We'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching.